easy to fall in love with elephant.
Elephants are a very unique species. They're the largest land mammal living on planet Earth and are incredibly intelligent and have deep social and family bonds.
Loved
Their
this.
recent evolutionary history dates back approximately
There's
25 million years.
a lot of beautiful wildlife that I think people in general, as not just, one society, but like human beings as a general society, are really intrigued by and love to learn more about, love to know more about. And I think elephants are definitely near the top of that list, if not at the top of that list, because they are so massive, but they are so intelligent and they are so social that we see a lot of really amazing, almost what we recognize as humanistic characteristics, because we do that as well with how they herd, how they group together, and you can track their socializing, and you can track their families, and you can track how they respond to each other. And because of that, I think that humans are just really intrigued by them in general, but that definitely can lead to mishandling and miscaring for these animals, and having more and more projects that involve the communities and that just involve more knowledge and involve more everything for the general public, is many people that would go to these countries like as a tourist to see these beautiful animals. The more of them that know like what conditions the elephant should be in, the more of them can make an informed decision and have an impact, I think. And so getting the knowledge out, showing that there are other ways to do it, showing that there are other ways that you can see these animals and still have some kind of interaction with them, where the animals themselves are being taken care of and actually being looked after, and having a happier, healthier life. I think that's the bigger win here, and I think this movie really underlined that, because they didn't even necessarily say like ending elephant tourism, because it is such a huge part of people's economies in these places, but having fences, outlawing certain things, doing these changing these 3 or 4 practices would have such a huge impact in such a positive way. And I think the more that message gets out, the better, because then the more tourists come and the more they can have an impact, and the more moving forward, hopefully, more things can change.
It was such a touching documentary for an animal lover, and for someone who just cares about, the care of animals. The mistreatment of elephants is something that you hear about, but you never really go into depth about learning about the matter at hand, and how harmful it is to this, rapidly declining species of animal, and just how horrible their treatment is. You do a great job of presenting that and drawing out that emotional appeal in the viewer, as well as presenting, the logic from so many different people. Former handlers, veterinarians, zoologists, like individuals who really are able to draw upon their knowledge and their personal experience dealing with the topic at hand. And you leave people wanting to go out and spread this message about, elephant mistreatment and these sanctuaries or areas where you can ride them, where you think you're doing good, but honestly, it's causing the worst impact to these animals. So it's very well organized, incredibly informative, and it really draws on the heartstrings of an animal lover, and it's what you want to do, because it shows that you're pushing that call to action forward to get action out of the documentary. So very, very well done.
Beautiful. I think it's a very touching story, and it mixes the music's mixed really well in with the narrative, all of the talking heads, although the protagonists are very compelling and very they have a very beautiful perspective on things, and I think that makes the whole short that much more successful, because you can feel their passion, you can feel their compassion, and it makes you feel that. And so I really loved it. I think that it's a beautiful setting as well, and it's shot beautifully as on top of that. So I really dug it. I think the filmmakers did a great job.
It's just so wonderful to see these elephants. I can say I've never seen anything about a piece about elephants in Laos, so there's a lot of first time for me in this. So I'm glad this movie's out, because I'm learning things. It's great. To see footage of Laos. I live in Los Angeles, California, and Americans, we don't see a lot of footage in Laos. So it's really nice and educational for us to get to know a culture that we don't know that well. But the title of the piece is just absolutely brilliant, and I understood what they were going to be going at the very moment it came on, and I'm seeing elephants, and the title "Walking Each Other Home." I had an idea what they were going for here. It's so nice to see this, that they're the Lao Elephant Initiative and the World Wildlife Fund and these organizations are going to this effort to walk these elephants home. From captivity, and it brought back a memory. I remember seeing a captive elephant once when I was a kid, and I was probably 8, and seeing it was so sad. The animal looked so sad, and I hadn't thought about that in years. It brought back that memory. But this is a wonderful piece, and seeing this man in the beginning who says that, I dare you not to fall in love with elephants, and we're seeing them all throughout the film with their smiles and everything. It's quite wonderful. It was wonderful to see his love for his elephant. That was, and how he talked about how much he loved her, and that was quite heartwarming. But everything about this was done really well. It's well shot, well edited, wonderful footage. Love seeing the elephants. Love seeing all these people working so hard with their love for the elephants. The score was wonderful. I really liked the music a lot. So thank you to all these people that are doing this great work, and I hope to see more of this, and I hope this film gets out and gets seen, because it's very important.
A really great documentary. It was super informative and super eye-opening, and I think it's really important to share these messages and stories and all of that, just to really show that elephants are living creatures, and that they have feelings, and they have a life, and they had a life before humans kind of took over their land. And I think it's one of those things that a lot of people forget about what happens behind the scenes in places that do provide attractions that include animals as their thing. And it's terrible knowing what happens behind the scenes. But I'm surprised that this short even had footage of the breaking in system of elephants, and what they had to go through before being able to perform, I guess. And it's one of those things that a lot of people just don't pay attention to. They just see that attractions are there, and they're just like, cool, I'll just pay $10 to see this, and forget about the history of that the elephant had gone through to end up at that place. So seeing shorts like this is one super important, and I think it really is eye-opening for a lot of people who don't realize what's really happening. And it's great to see that the traditions of what they used to do is now changing, and they are caring a lot more about the animals and making sure that they get the care that they need. So this is a really hopeful piece, although it is really heartbreaking knowing that there's probably still places that are doing the more old school traditional way of breaking in elephants. So hopefully more people get to see this, more people kind of step up and do something about it. And thank you for making this short.
Was so moving to me. I mean, I'm still getting verklempt just thinking about it. I took so many notes because it's so beautiful. The Lao Elephant Initiative is really just doing incredible work. I'm completely floored and impressed by what they've accomplished. I actually went on the internet and did more research on them after I watched the movie because I had never heard of them. Obviously, I'd never heard of them, and I'm just completely floored by their work. The idea of the high percentage of elephants that were lost in Thailand in 1987, I still can't get over that statistic. It's staggering to me. I also did not know about the pigeon process of breaking an elephant. I'm so angry about that. I can't even begin to describe, but I'm so thankful that you brought it to my attention. I wouldn't know about it without this film, and so thank you for making this movie. I'm also so touched by the reunion with Princess the elephant at the end of the film. That was just such a beautiful way to end this storytelling. It's wonderfully directed. It's beautifully edited. It's a gorgeous film, and I'm so happy you made it. Thank you very much, and congratulations.